Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of cinema. You got Jaime En Fuego here for Enfuegotainment, and I have two of my horror show homies with me.
I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
And we're here to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
What is that thing? Commander Crime will have ultimate power. This will help us build an army.
Dude, bringing back the mohawk. Good for you.
Oh, y'all got jokes, huh?
They put forth a very interesting concept in this one of the Turtles kind of maybe wanting to be a little bit human and feeling even more like outcasts than before. It was an interesting film, and we always do a little bit of good, bad, and ugly, or as I like to say, the bueno, the malo, and the feo. First and foremost, they brought some characters that we remember from the cartoons that were beloved in this, and honestly, I liked pretty much all of the new characters except for one. We had some Bebop and Rocksteady, right, Andrew?
I loved them. I'm a wrestling fan, so I saw Sheamus.
I laughed
he
seeing
snuck
him.
in there. I thought he fit perfectly. Both of them were that corgi, zany, big dumb brutes, but they didn't skimp on the fights. I thought they really held their own as far as battling and all that stuff. They weren't just a throwaway character. So
Yeah, very nice.
I liked it.
How about some bueno for you, Cecil?
I like the fact, it was kind of a bueno and a malo for me, but I'll just stick with the bueno for now. I like the fact that it was essentially a hour and a half to 2 hour long, it felt pretty long, episode of the show.
Yeah.
Like it was just sort of silly adventure. The plot didn't make sense, but there was very little at stake at all.
Yeah.
But it was fun that way. You didn't have to invest too much. So
yeah, I actually really liked the Turtles, especially Michelangelo. He brought the laughs, man, and he was funny. But also with the new characters, I thought Amell did a good job of bringing in his Casey Jones. He was actually pretty enjoyable for me. He had some funny quips and banter, especially at the beginning with the shred head, and so
I felt his justice demeanor come out too. He really wanted justice no matter what. And,
yeah, he meant well.
Yeah,
definitely more of a backstory than he's been given before. My recollection.
Yeah. Any other good that you can mention, little bueno?
Like you said, Bebop and Rocksteady were both really fun to watch. They were just as stupid as they are in the cartoons, so that was fun. And it was fun seeing Krang on screen, despite the voice, which I wasn't a big fan of. But
he was actually more tolerable than I expected.
It wasn't as bad as I had been hearing, but it wasn't great. But it was still fun to see him brought to actual live action. So.
Yeah. And with talking about the good from the Turtles, it's an easy segue into the bad for me. The malo is that, with the exception of Casey Jones, every human in this movie was so one-dimensional. I felt like the Turtles were the most human characters in the entire film. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, that is an unfortunate byproduct of Michael Bay movies.
Didn't direct this one,
but he produced it, and his hands are still all over it, all over the place. Everyone was one-dimensional except for the Turtles, but my big problem was the scripting. Like, it made zero sense. There were logic flaws all over the place, and the fact that somehow every single person in the movie has to fight and beat people, and the people that shouldn't fight do fight and win, and it's what? And there's just so many convenient things. I was not a big fan of how the movie was scripted at all.
That's exactly what I was going to get into, was the fact that I felt like the Turtles, this is the first time I want the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be gritty, nasty.
There's some interesting conflict.
There was, but you saw a lot of people just kind of get knocked out or moved out of the way, or there was a scene where everybody supposedly had a parachute, except for the only people that didn't need parachutes.
That's actually, I can jump off that, I actually didn't think there was enough action. I felt like there was very little action in the movie, and
Three big scenes, that's about it.
I was wanting more of it, and it just wasn't coming, man. And that's actually an easy segue into the ugly. The feo for me is that this has been a problem since the very first Ninja Turtles movie was heavily censored in the UK for the use of the weapons. The Turtles never use their weapons, man. Barely at all. Even with most of the fights, they're using fists and stuff. And I'm like, I know you're trying to make it very little at stake, like you were saying, but that was so ugly for me because I wanted that grittiness that you were mentioning. donuts, non-existent, man.
Yeah, it felt like it needed to be that slasher. That I mean, we all see Deadpool, and if that's the bar, this is nowhere near it. But
it is, like very PG-13ish, very geared to kids.
And as soon as I saw Nickelodeon, I was like, okay.
And they did the first one too, of these new live-action ones.
But I don't know. I still enjoyed it.
They need to.
I had fun with it.
They need to pull a Tomorrowland and like have Shredder replace the Foot Clan with mechanical soldiers. That way the Turtles can tear through them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and actually give us some of their weapons.
Because that's the only time they used them was on Krang.
Yeah.
He's a big old robot with a brain with Bubblicious in his stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was some fun jokes.
It was frustrating. I mean, and that's the other thing was for me the ugly was the CG was hit or miss. I thought there was a lot of weird, like the Turtles had some weird movements to them, especially when they were just walking around. They looked okay when they were fighting and everything, but it's like clearly things aren't moving the way they physically would be moving, especially if they had the mass and size of these turtles. So that was the effects were just not great for me in this one.
Yeah. Bebop and Rocksteady, while I enjoyed their personalities, they look totally fake, man. That was an ugly for me too.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where you were impressed by it, but then there are other times where you're all right, I can see that. So
definitely hit and miss. And another ugly for me, because it was just so silly, is any excuse to put Megan Fox in a schoolgirl outfit. Yeah, it was retarded. I was like, this is
that was the flimsiest of excuses too.
Indeed.
It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, and where did her pants go? I don't know.
Yeah, they were tearaways apparently.
I guess so. She was very much incognito in disguise. Another ugly for me was Tyler Perry's Baxter Stockman.
Oh my god, he was
terribly miscast, man.
It was the worst. The character choice there was awful.
Medea Stockman or whatever.
The stuff he was making, the choices he was making were just terrible.
Yeah. So bottom line, I had fun with this movie, but it was just big dumb fun, and I guess I wasn't really expecting too much more beyond that. So
I mean, it stacks up well with kind of a comic book feel. You just keep turning the pages, and you get to the end of it, you go, that was fun.
Yeah, it was more fun than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 or that animated one. So I mean, hey,
I like the animated one actually. There's a lot of cool monsters in that one. I like that better than these.
You can at least show action in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Touche, sir. Touche. So I gotta extend the grande gracias to these guys for sitting down and talk about this film with me, and we do a project together that our founder here is going to mention to you guys now.
Just real quick, we do a horror variety show called The Horror Show at youtube.com/The Horror Show channel. We do movie reviews, how-tos, comedy sketches, celebrity interviews, event coverage, all kinds of good stuff. So check it out.
Yeah, and Mr. Mercer here, Andrew, he is a technical assistant in pretty much every capacity with us. So I gotta extend the grande gracias for being on the panel today, man.
I like to help out. I like to watch movies, so it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, well, gracias for joining me, both of these guys. I've been Jaime En Fuego. You can find me on all social media sectors, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube. Do that like, share, and subscribe thing. It's much appreciated. And until next time, Sin Amigos, hasta luego. But let's make it sooner rather than later. Peace. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.